Huzzah! I can see my voice. I can see myself. The stream says it's actually functioning this time, although my mic arm's doing its funny thing where it likes to keep creeping up. I have the opposite issue to everyone else in the world where their mic arm drops down. It keeps rising up no matter how much I adjust the tension. Whatever, it's up there. You can probably hear me. We seem good. They updated... Well, yeah, I haven't. I'm still running Ventura. I'm usually 12 months behind on OS, generally speaking. Just on the basis that I constantly used to update and it would fuck things up. Oh, like I'd have a project running and suddenly a plugin used in that project didn't work and it would just mess stuff up. So yeah, I'm usually around a year behind, sometimes a whole OS behind as well. Yeah, I won't be updating that, to be honest. Yeah, a lot of stuff has only just hit compatibility and we're about 3 months away from them dropping yet another OS. Not a huge fan of the way that's been going, to be honest. Like small audio companies can't keep up with the likes of Apple. It's just wild. Anyway, we are here, or should I say I'm kind of here just to dive into all the new stuff here in Logic. So let's see what we can find. All I've done so far is just have a little play with the bass player and throw different instruments on it. And it's kind of cool what you can do with Apple loops. I think actually that's something we'll dive into right off the bat. Let's just do new project, close, don't save. And hopefully that won't disappear from my stream when we do that. Window, you are going to somewhere in this list of like 10,000 different windows. That one. Cool. So one of the first things that I noticed that I didn't notice that was on the website was you can grab pretty much any loop now and have it configured to key and it gives chord structure, which is super useful. We've always known the key that things are in, but if we go say instrument, piano, it seems you can see levels, which is lovely. Yeah, that's kind of funky. Let's just throw that in. If we drop that in and do our drop down, it set the key straight off the bat and given the structure, which is really, really cool. But so if we press I, have inspector up, which I just generally always have up, we've now got pitch source key signature over here and we can have it on or off. If we then use this new chord track and we throw a chord in, but we decide the root note is in fact going to be F, and we just pop that in as F, and then if we right click it and do chord progression and give ourselves a funky chord progression like that, this follows it. It's kind of cool. Or it's supposed to. Maybe we've got something else. There you go, that's done it. Key signature. There we go. You can hear some warbling for sure because it's tuned it well out of what it should be. It's a very cool thing to be able to have, and then we can just flip through all the different variants in that key. Just gives way more flexibility. I'm hoping that there's going to be a way to add this into your own samples, maybe using the stem splitter or something like that. I don't know just yet. So let's open the studio base. I think we've now got everything downloaded as well. It was about a 12 gig download for what I needed to add. You beta test different OS on laptops. Yeah. Because I'm constantly doing projects, I don't really have the option to like beta test an OS when I'm often doing like the betas and the alphas for various different plugin companies as well. Like Isotope RX is a good example of that. I've usually got that quite a while before it's out, although I'm not doing the training package for 11. I think 11's been announced, or they've at least spoken about it. So I've often got that way before the time that it's coming out, and I can't then be betaing OSs as well as having unfinished software operating. It just creates a nightmare for myself. So yeah, just have to operate on what is stable and miss out on new fancy features sometimes. I do the same thing with like the iPad OS, to be honest. All right, so that was what was added in terms of the loops and being able to match key signature with the new chord structure at the top, which is pretty cool. I'm happy with that. It's a nice thing to have. I want to know if there's a way that I can grab, say, something from my own library and add it in there, but I don't think there is, or at least I couldn't figure out a way to. So if I do just go in here and we'll just grab, that's got music loops in it there. Like drop that in, for example. No, we don't want that for the time being. Yeah, that doesn't let me switch on the pitch source. I couldn't see any way to analyze it. But there's going to be some other things. Oh, split. That's where split is it? Remove silence from audio regions. Splitter, playhead, splitter, locators. Yeah, that's not the stem separation I was after. But hey, we will figure that out in a bit. So hopefully there's something we can do with there, so we can just automatically pitch things around instead of going into like the audio editor, flex pitch, and then matching the key that way to whatever we want it to be. Like I can go to E here, and assuming it's found me some notes, quantize to E instead. Which is a way of doing it, and it's probably what it's doing with the Apple loops in the background, but be good to be able to do it just in the same manner and have it match the chords automatically. Okay, so this new bass instrument, although we've just added the bassist, that's not what I want to do. I want to go session player and add a bass player. Although you were saying the new drummer's improved, so let's check the drummer out first, since I do use that hell of a lot already. And we'll get rid of you. Okay, so still loads the same SoulCal kit by default. Nothing changed in that regard. Oh, okay, they've put this Chroma glow on the channels though, so they've updated the channel strips. That's kind of cool. All right, let's just have a look at this Chroma glow at the same time, which is sweet. Okay, so we've got the structure down the bottom now, so let's just loop it over 8 bars. Okay. Okay. Alright, we'll have a deep dive into that in a bit. I think I'm going to run a whole track through that, kind of treat it as like a saturation plugin and see how that rides. So, how does drummer work now? So if we click down here, okay, here's where we can pick up all of our different drum kits like we used to be able to. Acoustic drummer, okay, so we can switch between the different types as well as the bass player and everything. That's sweet. Retro, psychedelic, songwriter, 60s songwriter, is that new? I feel like it is. Indie pop, indie rock, garage rock, R&B, new soul, modern Motown. Cool beans. All right. So how does it function now? Complexity. Right, okay, so complexity is like going to the right-hand side on the old X and Y. And intensity is going to be the up and down. All right. So we've replaced that X and Y with these two sliders, effectively. Okay, I like the little visuals, though, you get on the transients of the intensity. That's cool. Come on, fill amount, if we now crank that up. Okay, so it's not just doing fills randomly at the end of the bars, it's now actually doing kind of intelligent fills throughout the track. That's cool. I feel like that's giving a more convincing performance than before, just because it's putting the fill amounts in like sensible places, not just like hammering loads of toms at the end like it basically used to. You used to have basically different configurations of hi-hat and toms, didn't you? So can we have, right, okay, so we can still only have hi-hats, rides, or like the toms, not the whole thing configured. But okay, but we can switch our pattern types here. Okay. Oh, that's really useful. So it's giving us like a 16-step indicator as to what's going on. Cool. Got a way more selection in terms of the kick and the snare. We can follow the chord rhythm as well. Okay. We'll turn the chord track off. Okay. Or we could follow a specific track like we used to. Okay, that's cool. Cool, and the different patterns pick up the different parts of the crashes or ride or the ride bell. Okay, sweet. Swing, I imagine doing the same thing. We have it on 8th swing or 16th. Yep. Okay, if we go into details, oh, ghost notes now. I have loads of ghost notes. Okay, I like that. Okay, and you can choose the type of ghost note. So I could have it rim shot the ghost note, is that right? And pick up percussion as well. Okay. Yeah, instead of having to convert to MIDI and do like these little bits manually, it's kind of there for you. I mean, I've cranked it to oblivion. That's nice. Right, okay, if you switch the cymbals to crash, you keep the same rhythm, but you can... Okay, so usually it used to be when you change the pattern for, say, the cymbals, it changes what cymbal it plays, but in details you can now keep the pattern, but change the specific part of the cymbal or cymbal it's hitting. I can now keep that pattern but make it the ride bell. That's also really nice, because before you had to convert to MIDI and then move it. Okay, so we've got push and pull on the feel. Okay, so I mean swing should in theory do that, but swing for some reason in this has always only been push. Really, really weird the way that they've done it. Like swing should always be 2 values. You should be able to go from 50% negative and then up. I don't know why it's always been like that. So they've done that in details with a push-pull instead, which that's cool. Does it show you? Yeah, it does show you what it's doing with the push-pull. That's cool. Yeah, push-pull should still work with the actual rhythm though, and whether or not you're in 8ths or 16ths, right? So if we pull it right back, that's loads of pull. Oh, you're right, it does pull. Oh no, it does. It does it on the 8ths. So it's doing it, if you look at every and, it's pulling it on those ands. So if we go from like right in the middle. Yeah. So if we switch it to 16ths on main, does that adjust it? You're right, it seems to do approximately the same. But we've now got the 2 to balance out what we want. No, that is just doing the 8ths. Unless you do a larger amount, that seems to grab everything. I think I need something right on the grid for a bit of context. Could just do this. Worst metronome ever. So everything that's on the 1 still seems to land on the 1, apart from these toms. What about if we do that? Yeah, just a little bit of that could be really good. It'd be nice as well if you can do this, convert it to MIDI, make that your quantized track, and then apply it to audio as well, so you can sync like drum breaks and things in with it. We'll play around with that in a bit, I think. dynamics, humanize element. And the humanize element used to just move notes ever so slightly off and adjust velocity in the MIDI settings. Let's just bash a limiter on the output in case we do that again. If your lot is. Okay. It's a much better way of working, right? Much better. Just the introduction of that ghost notes saves work and effort, and you can create way more interesting breaks. I'm just gonna crank it up to 174, which is where I live at. So it used to fall on its arse here. That's actually better. Way better. Yeah, just smarter. Just smarter, innit? Yeah. When you're pushing the more extreme tempos, 174, whatnot, and going on the grid with it, it doesn't fall on its arse as much. The toms are still a bit blah, but it's there, it's good. Did we get any new drum kits? To be honest, I mostly just used the Soul Cow. No, like they is all the same. Yeah, Manchester, yeah, they're all the same. I mean, I've only checked out one of the presets, but tweakability wise, we're good. And what's in manual? Okay, so I can put a kick and snare steps in separately. So if I want to do extra, right, cool. Happy days. Okay, sweet. Yeah, drummer's thoroughly improved. Probably get my sample library out of the way, can't we? All right, yeah, that's going to be very useful, even though I mostly ever used it for tops. Have they changed the percussion one out of curiosity? Because now, instead of that, it's what? Loads more. Percussionist, Latin pop songwriter. Wasn't it just like Latin and songwriter before on Percussionist? I don't remember. I seldom picked it up. Is it different? Oh, okay. We've got the same kind of thing, the main details. Hey, velocity, range and control. Happy days. Oh, that's immediately going to be way more useful. And can you configure each pattern? Not each section, but still. You can manually have each different part in and out. Oh, I like that. It'd be nice if you could choose, mix and match the different patterns for each instrument layer. Like if I could right click this and go in a little deeper. But I suppose we could always go and do a step sequencer for that if we wanted to. So let's say we want to confine like the sleigh bells right up here. That's always the same phrase. Okay, that's cool. It's kind of functioning like a hysteresis. It's only triggering at those set velocities. That allows you to have that functionality that I wanted with the patterns. It would trigger at certain points, so you can flex it about a little bit. That's nice. Not the way I would have done it, but it's a nice option. It's good. That gives us, again, loads more flexibility. I can bring the tamb in now. Take it away. Can I automate these? Read, touch. Back to read. No, that's a shame. That's a real shame. If I could automate those, that would have been great. I get why we can't, because it is adjusting the pattern. Yeah, that would have been nice because I could just bring the tams in when I want in here rather than having to like go and add the extra kit and do the mixer and gain automation. But I'll take it. You got the push pull and the dynamic options. Oh, so, I can just drop it straight into halftime as well. Oh, beautiful. Is that there on the drummer? I missed it, yeah. Tempo, halftime, double time. So I could go 87, half 174. That in double time. Okay. Standard. Double time drums. Okay, cool. Just way more flexibility and options to work right then and there. All right, since we've got this guy up right here, I did want to have a look at this. What we will do is I will grab something to pop in there. We can test it out with just like a beat instrumental, I think. So let's go tracks 2024. What would be good? Actually, tell you what, there was this the other day. That might work. Yeah, I think that would be a good tester of that kind of vibe. Oh, tell me I'm in the right. Yeah, I am. Good. No, okay, leave that on for now. Don't want you on, don't need you on. Pop that plug in, which is glow. That on there, and solo you out. For some reason, half that instrumental is just not showing up in there. It is there. Taking some processing. Cool beans. And we'll get rid of those for the time being. Let's keep this nice and clean. All right, so let's test out glow. What we'll do, we'll take this instrumental. It's finished, so I've mastered it, which is why it's super, super loud. And we'll just give ourselves like 3 dB of gain like that. We take a little bit of the intro and into the drop. That should give us some good vibe of what's going on with it, hopefully. I used to be mega excited about like this kind of tool. If you followed this channel for a while, I used to use like the nonlinear summers or the slate plugin stuff, which I've abandoned because they won't let me off of iLok. Unless you subscribe, then you don't have to use an iLok. Screw that, even though I've spent hundreds on it. I don't really use analog emulation stuff all that much now, unless I specifically want to make something I've played out sound like it was vinyl or tape, which for sample packs, etc. But it's nice to finally have something like this in here. I thought they would just update Fat Effects, but let's see what we've got. So hopefully this instrumental is good enough to test it out. If not, I'll go grab something else. Also, if I'm not responding to you in chat, I'm sorry, but it says my chat's frozen again, even though I've gone and Etherneted everything up. Okay, I like this. I'm not going to lie, I like it straight off the bat. I really like this visualization showing the multiband aspect of things, right? That's way overdoing it, considering it's already done. Well, yeah, I can see chat. I'm the same, probably won't use it, but good for creators. Yeah, it's a cool tool, right? And say you're playing this new Logic pianos, which again we'll get into in a bit of time, and you want to add that kind of like analog tape saturation feel. You've now got a tool in here to do it, and from my first impressions it sounds pretty good. bypass, I'm going to take the bypass up to like 200 to totally ignore that big weighty kick. I don't know how this will come across on the stream. I'm streaming, so your audio is like a 320 kbps MP3, basically. If you focus on the hi-hats on this, when I lift it up, it crunches them in like a really nice way. So we've got model of squeeze. Does squeeze mean compression? Does it mean bitrate reduction? I don't know. It kind of sounds like 12-bit MPC kind of sound. Exacerbates what I've already done to it. Nice. Alright, what about the other models? What we got? Retro Tube. I would guess Retro Tube is taken from their Portec, right? Nice doing that low cut in post, right? Just saturating the higher element a lot. Modern tube. Too much. Right, so listen to that intro over and over. There's a little breakdown here, I think. So they've got independent styles. Does that automatically switch the style? No, it's clean or colourful. Alright, so for some reason magnetic automatically switches to colourful. Okay. So this is supposed to be tape saturation, I'm guessing. That's just decimating the sound. Doesn't really sound like tape though. Take the low cut off. Alright. Whoa, that really faded the sound back. Right. Analog preamp absolutely destroyed it then. Meh. Wow. Right, well, there's an issue I've got. That gain difference. Apart from everything else, though, is sounding good. It's a good little tool. It's a nice thing to finally have. I definitely like it seems to be multi-band. I definitely like there to be an element of you can adjust that, but you kind of got like the low cut, high cut, pre and post options to play around with the area you're saturating, which is useful. If you've ever taken mastering class or anything like that with me, or sound design even, one thing I like to do is like take a little like boxed area in a track and really saturate that, but leave everything else clean, and you can use it to like pop vocals out of a mix or pop a snare out of the mix just on its own, which is sort of what this is letting you do with that low cut, the pre and post, and then oversaturating that element. You'd mix that in of its own accord on a bus. So it's got that aspect to it, it's got the mastering aspect to it, it's got the sound design aspect to it. Nice little tool. Not something that I want to spend forever on right now. Its own video for sure. I only did that because it was there. Right, we'll leave this beat in here for the time being. We might use it again in a bit. Let's have a look at the other instruments since we've only done the drummer. Yeah, I want to test out the keyboard player. So, okay, so we've got different options: freely broken chords, block chords, arpeggiated, simple pad. Okay, block chords sounds like it's going to be the most common thing that we have. Okay, and let's load up something specifically called piano, not sampler. So it is the new piano. So does that mean? Oh, nice. I actually don't have the keyboard set up, so I can't see it. All right, let's see how it plays with the chords. In hindsight, I probably should have pulled the keyboard out, but you know, I had enough issues this morning. Stereo mic. Oh, okay, this is nice. So we've got different mic placements as well. All right, let's just hear what it's done with these block chords. Does it give you a melody as well? Okay. Right, I'm just going to listen to the piano for a bit, then we'll dive into the block chords aspect. How is this update free? I honestly thought they'd be charging in subscription by now. Oh no, that center mic's nice. Why is it saturating though? That effects. Why is that on there by default? That's stupid. If you can hear that on the left side. Clipping. And it will be probably the very drive there. Yep. Why would they put that on by default? That sounded shocking. Only the maximum notes clipping it, but still. Anyways. Alright, so we've got a vintage upright. Concert grand. Right, this is 100% the same piano that was in Sampler, the Concert Grand. Whereas this is fresh and awesome sounding. So, my guess would be like vintage upright. Nice. They're all very inconsistent in level. Is this like supposed to be like a one mic recording? I'm 100% certain that is the sampler one that we've had forever and a day. Where are we? Dents here. What do I not see? Where it's that. Well, maybe not. Whatever. That takes the cake, and that's also really nice as well. Yeah, so no, it's not the same piano. They're all new. Yeah, it sounds very similar, but yeah, I agree with you. It probably is all. Either way, these two absolutely take it. The Studio Grand and the Vintage Upright are just wow. Especially given that mono mic, like the difference that makes. You can have like this stereo spread. You got a vocal in the middle, wonderful. If you want to just reinforce it, bring that mono mic in. That's such a nice touch that you see on a lot of the other more expensive libraries. That's and it's free here in Logic. That's wicked. Yeah, the dynamic inconsistency. My only issue with that is if you've played something out with, say, maybe a basic sound and you want to switch the sound, you're suddenly like wildly different in level, right? Like that's not an insignificant difference. We are minus 16 there versus minus 7, minus 6 there. 10 dB difference is a bit of an arse ache, you know, especially with your main control and whatnot. But again, not to nitpick, it's got two fantastic sounding, very expensive sounding, to be honest, VSTs introduced there. And then we've got this tool here so I don't have to worry about having my keyboard set up ever again, hopefully. So how's this guy work? So block chords, that's going to be the same thing we chose before. Okay, different versions. We'll have a look through them in a sec. Complexity, crank you right up. Okay, so complexity is probably being limited by the fact we're on sustained, maybe. So if we do accentuated, yeah, okay, cool. Lovely. We do grace notes. Do we get notes in between? Okay, nice. Okay, that's really nice. Simulating a little bit of like clumsy playing, not being perfectly on time, not just the standard humanize function. That's really, really nice. Not even in the main section. So can I drop my chords lower by doing that? I can, and bring the melody higher up. Oh, how lovely is that? So, excuse me 1 second while I just experiment here. So can I do that and then just bring that up like so? What a lovely tool that is for just getting something down. Steady eighths, if I drop it off steady eighths. Oh mate. That is brilliant. So then the fact that I can also do like left hand voicing root only, I could do root in a fifth on say the next part. Movement, give it a small range of movement, and 4 plus voice. Alright, let's give a more complex fill into that. Swing them both. awesome tool this is. I appreciate we've been going like 30 odd minutes, so some of you might not have seen, but I did set some chords right at the start using the sample. I'm just going to right click on here, go chord progression, and change the progression, and it matches. If I just add another section, it now matches that new progression. I'm assuming it retains, yeah, what I did in that previous one. Okay. Then in details, sustained phrasing, give that some extra grace notes. Back on steady eights, follow rhythm. All right. I don't remember what that beat was in, so I'm not going to bring it in, but it's given me the option here to follow along that rhythm. So we're going to go track, follow along the beat rhythm. Look at that. I'm not going to lie, it feels a lot like cheating. The fact that you can set that up so quickly. Let's do large range of movement. No, and yeah, fixed inversion. Okay. So by default, it obviously works with this new piano. That's what it opens up with. And then we've got the other settings. I get the feeling you can just bash anything in here. So could I go and grab any VST library? So could I go and open Contact, for example? I appreciate, I'm sorry everyone, but I am breaking out of Logic doing this, but I'm just curious. Can you use this tool on any of your other tools? Because the drummer was kind of always limited, right? You could only use it on that particular drum kits in Logic. Can I now go and apply this to do you know what? Will it work on like session strings? Oh yeah. Session strings pro. I need ensemble. Well, it definitely isn't flawless, but the library's not even finished loading. That's ridiculous. So that means that I could put my strings on there like I so desire. I could create another one, another keyboard track. And it's even going to follow. What? That's ridiculous. Alright, well, that was an experiment. I wanted to see if it would work. It does. We'll keep everything in Logic, and what we'll do, we'll put studio strings on there. Now the problem with that is you're not going to be able to change it from the articulation because you need the MIDI track to be able to do that. Even if I do that, I don't think it will work. See? But for the time being, a small section. That's ridiculously useful. Yeah, you can use anything. Like, you could technically use anything before on the drummer, but the way it was set up, it didn't work like across everything. Because this is basically MIDI triggering, you can throw anything in that you want. That's just kind of ridiculous, isn't it? And it's so good. So I just copy down what I've made before. So just rename this small section. Misspelt, but I'm going to live with it. So if I now convert that to a MIDI region, we'll have to then go in here. The studio strings has always been bugged where it won't give you the key switches unless you load it specifically. But now that we've got all of those individual parts like so, we can make it so that articulation plays staccato. We can make it so this plays sustained. Like so. And we've got our chords working with it. So let's bring all the sustained notes up. I don't think that section's got notes that low, but we can do small section. Wow, okay. Well, isn't that a ridiculous addition? And all the other channels were complaining AI bad. Nah, not at all. What a fantastic compositional tool that is. Oh yeah, I'm not saying you can't use anything in the drummer, but a lot of things. I'm thinking, what's the Slate drummers called? I forget. But they were configured different, and battery was configured different. So you tried to bring it into the drummer track and it would trigger completely erratic sounds, making it somewhat useless. But the fact that these are now basically interchangeable is just insane to me. Alright, so we've got whatever that is that I've made. Let's actually continue and put the bass player in. We've got pop songwriter, roots upright. This is going down a modern R&B route. Let's take the modern R&B bass player. Alright, well the new bass instrument's funky as hell, isn't it? Damn. That's easily on par with the Scarabee libraries. Easily. What is the software? This is the Logic 11 update, and this is all the stuff that's been added and included, barring the session strings that I was just experimenting with, which has been, well, the studio strings, that is included, this. But the session strings, I was just curious if you could bring anything in and have it function. But this is the new basis added, and dude, that is easily on par with Scarabee libraries. Let's just go through them. Okay. Okay. Way overdid the definition, which I wasn't happy with it, but... Okay, I like that we've done this, the last played note types as well, so it's going to have the same articulations when you do it in MIDI like we just looked at with the studio strings. That's cool. So we've got different play styles as well? Oh, mate. These are going to be so damn good to use. They're so nice. And they're completely different libraries for each playing style. Wow. Wow. Like, out of curiosity, right, let's compare this to libraries that I've bought over the years that cost a significant amount. Let's pop Scarabee library on here for bass. I'll tell you what, I think one of the newer ones, what is it, Mint Bass? No? Or maybe I've not put it on. What have we got? Old. Yeah, I've not put any of the newer ones on because I don't tend to use them, but we can go with amped bass. Pick that. So by comparison, obviously they're not going to be the same sound, but like how convincing the performance is, it's right on par. And the fact we've got different playing styles and different types, that's sick. Right, be right back, one sec. The last update was 8. What? You can see the drums. Yeah, the slap bass sounds. I mean, the fact that they're all different libraries is dope. Like, it takes a second to load, but there's so many of these as well. Like, this is without even tweaking them or looking at the fact that we've got cabs to run them through in here as well. Oh, that slide on the rock, that was nice. Dude, these are so good. Like, Logic has massively one-upped any other things they've put in for, it's probably since Alchemy here. pianos are incredible, and these are so good. I know there'll be people out there going, oh, but they're just basses, and they're for specific uses. If you can't get something good and useful out of these, I don't know what on earth you're doing. They are so good. Yeah, one thing I am thinking though, the melody it's coming out with is actually also brilliant, and I've not even played around with these. But you could very easily take that bass line and put something else into it melody wise, like, again, we could grab Alchemy and throw a synth in there, no problem. 70s lead, have no idea what that's going to be. Random lead in Alchemy. That is wicked. These are such good creative tools. That is insane the way these have been introduced. I don't know if I've like not gone through all of these now. Was it the slap on this that we liked? How funky is that? I like that. It's an overwhelming thumbs up for the instrument upgrades. I'm not going to lie, when I opened it up, I had a quick look at the synths. I was like, Jesus, they've left the same GUIs on the synths that have been there since like 1995. But this has made up for that disappointment, to be fair. Yeah, big time. Best update ever? Yeah, probably. Like I say, I've not been this excited since they introduced Alchemy. When was that? I want to say that was like 2015. Was that nearly 10 years ago? See, I'm not using the iPad version. 2 reasons. I just don't like subscriptions. It very much annoys me. Even though it's $50 a year, that's not too bad. Then I look at the fact I've had Logic for a decade. Also, the iPad I'm using is iPad 2020, so it functions, but it's not ideal. Got like a $4,000 Mac Studio here. I should probably use that rather than the iPad. But it's wicked that it's now available. And for mobile recording, like bringing an interface, bringing an iPad, absolutely mint. Cannot complain with that. Okay, here's a notification I've never ever seen before. It says ads will run shortly for some viewers. I'm going to try and hit skip ads, but I've never once had that pop up on my channel. Hang on. Right, I think I've skipped it, but if you get an ad, I'm sorry about that. I don't know, YouTube is hammering it with the ads lately, and I just wanted to run a free live stream. Right, super impressed with them. I also love the fact you can just throw something else on it and it works like in tandem. That's sick. That's so cool. Out of curiosity, we haven't got any new cabs added, I don't think. I mean, they've not touched that for a long time. Where even does it live? Is it multi-effects? Okay. Where the hell do the cabs even live? Oh, amps and pedals. That would make sense, wouldn't it? That would be the place to put the amps and pedals. Just curiosity here. Not the best amps in the world, but you can make it very convincing. For sure. Nah, I just want this to be like a we can all jump in and vibe kind of live stream. I don't live stream very often, to be honest. Until this year, I don't I think I went live like twice last year, and then there was like a 4-year gap because I just generally am doing projects during the day all the time, and yeah, I've not got much on at the minute. This is Logic, you know. There'll be ads on the VOD afterwards, probably. If people want to pick up on that, they can do that. I just I want you guys to enjoy it and just vibe. That combination right there on the screen, that is sick, right? The cabs, like I say, not the best in the world. Guitar Rig absolutely slays them. However, in a mix, you wanted sound design with the new bassist running through that and how convincing they are. You throw that in a mix. But that's funky. You could sell that as being something. Right, Jade. Where is the stem splitter? I genuinely installed this morning, opened it, and started live streaming. I genuinely don't know where the stem splitter is or how it works. I'm going to have a little like fumble around with the settings in here, but we've pretty much established what everything is. So yeah, throw it in. Yeah, so testing the stem splitter, I've got RX10, I've got credits for La La La, I've got FL Studio. That's what I've been using to do various like tasks like that. For making, you know, like the beat I threw up here earlier, that is sampled and then stripped back. If you listen really carefully right here, you can hear where I've removed a vocal. There's just like the echo reverb left of it in the background. So if I've got another tool to do parts of that even better, I use it loads. So just import a track, then right click on the track. Okay, right, well I've got this beat open right here. Does that mean I can do it there? That immediately caused a crash. So yeah, that's not a good sign. Let's see. I mean, Apple wouldn't use us as beta testers, right? Right? They wouldn't. They wouldn't do that to us. Well, I even crashed my second display. Cool. Right, we seem to be back. Okay. So import, right click. Just import a track, then right click the track and split stems. Does it literally just say split stems? That no? I don't see it, or am I being completely blind? Facet flex markers, playback. Loads of feedback in my headphones right now ever since reopening that. Going on here making noise. Oh yeah, it's that. That'll be the amp. Oh. Right, so right click on track. Ah, do you mean here? No? I've just been blind and I can't see it. We'll do it. We'll open up the manual, which I believe my head's probably over. Extract stems from an audio region with stem splitter. In the tracks area in Logic Pro, use processing stem splitter. Oh, hang on. Region. You can't do it from there. It worked. Yeah, I mean, it would make sense to me if it's in split, wouldn't it? Because it's split stems, but yeah, it's not. Okay, hang on. Click the audio region. Choose processing stem splitter. Okay, if that's how it works on the iPad, that makes sense, right? Yeah. I like the region. Okay, so audio track here highlighted. Should probably do it on the small region. In file and functions? No? Audio file? Where is this? Might be the first time I've ever not been able to find something in Logic. Yeah, highlight the region, right click, okay. Hey, processing stem splitter, I got you. I got you. We got there. We got there. Okay, so we can split vocals, drums, bass, and other. And we don't get any more info. All right, let's see how that runs in real time on a full track. Well, that's surprisingly quick, actually. Okay, and it makes a track stack. I like that. Overview. Interesting. How well do we reckon it did? I'm guessing it didn't find any others, which makes sense because it's an instrumental. Session's becoming a mess. Let's loop where there would be everything. So right, so consider that the vocals you hear there, I've already done this and ripped them out of something else. So the fact there's artifacts, that's fair. That's good as well. And it is all vocal related. Okay. Drums, super clean. I mean, they're crunchy like 12-bit drums, but... Okay, so they're really dirty in between the hits. But I think literally the fix for that would quite honestly take like 2 seconds, and we could go noise gate, threshold, literally give it an attack of 0, a hold of about 20, somewhere in that region, if it will let me. Release, yeah, probably about 10. We'll maybe dial that in. Maybe slightly longer on the release, like 30. Getting there, considering how sharp that kick and snare are, and they've been ripped out of a track. Don't forget, they're obscured by all of this as well. And these. Huh. That's done a good job. That might be one of the better jobs I've heard it do for drums. And then the bass should be the easiest thing. I could probably do that with an EQ. A bit rough. It's literally just a like rhombody sub bass. Let me go and grab a. Oh, by the way, the original track was fully muted. Right, delete all of that, mute all of that stuff. Literally just going to hide these away because this is becoming a mess. Let me just go grab a full mix of something. What's got tracks in it? We go tracks. What would be hard to pull apart? We got feeling heavy in here. That's the mix. Is that the master? Is that the WAV? Yeah. Cool. Sorry if that was insanely loud. Right, so this is one of my like full releases, been mastered, and it's super complex. So let's put it through its motions here. See if it can pull this apart. What I am going to do for our own safety is just knock like 3 dB of gain off like that. So we are right click, processing stem splitter, split the whole lot. So this being way more complex, I figured it was going to take longer, but somehow it was faster. Amazing, okay. Well, visually it seems to have done a good job. Still muted.
Feeling heavy, but now I'm steady, going up from hitting the ground.
Yeah, so struggled a lot on that. Let's take the like main.
You heard me while I gave you plenty of love and time, but I started to drown.
Cool. Now the fact it's still got it as good as it has, even though it's definitely not usable, it's pulled it from a very, very difficult track. Hang on, has it auto muted that? Yeah, it has. It's pulled it from this.
You heard me while I gave you plenty of love and time, but I started to.
So it's pulling all that percussion, the lead line, the strings, the bass.
And now I'm ready.
And definitely not usable, but
You heard me while
impressive.
I gave you plenty of love and time, but I started to drown.
How's it done with the drums? Yeah, drums not usable either. But again, they're like overwhelmed. That said, right, the tom roll. Sure. Oh, the respace, no problem. A better job than it did on the beat. No, it's never going to be perfect. And I specifically grabbed this track because it's really heavily compressed and super, super busy. But it's impressive what it's done, not taking away from it at all. I wanted to really like thrash it effectively. All right, but it's done the respace. I could take that and use that on another track. That's no trouble. And that's got some gnarly tops on it, but I think you could literally. There you go. You could resample that, no problem. Take that, throw the new glow plugin on it. Which, where is the glow plugin? What have they put that in? Distortions? No. I'd put it in distortions. Dynamics? No. Who knows where they've put that new glow plugin? The distortion to me, I'd put it in distortion. Seems like they spent more time on the iPad version, huh? It ain't there for me, is it? Never mind. But yeah, you could resample that. That's been pulled out of that very busy track and done a good job. I'd say the vocals, meh, but still, it's come from that.
I gave you plenty of love and time, but I started.
Let's give it a like real use case. Let's say there's a sample that we want. It's kind of busy. I know. If we go in here, splice. There's loads of like vintage stuff in here.
We live in life.
I've obviously chosen the wrong thing to do there. If I put in soul, maybe. There we are. Find something that's got a bit of a vocal in it as well. There's a real world use that I might have for it, where we want to pull bits of a sample out, which is what I did with the beat I had in before. So, processing stem splitter, let's see if it can do something useful out of that. That's not looking too good, is it? Struggled there, for sure. Just classed everything as other. Not ideal, that. You'd be able to split something out of that in the likes of RX. Right, that's clearly got a bit of vocal sound in it. In fact, I've used that vocal chop in another track. So let's see. Can it pull vocals out of that? Okay, not ideal again. So I think that's where it needs some dialing in, because on FL or RX I can tune that a lot more to capture what I want it to pick out. I can use the stem separation on an audio in part of the song. Yeah, I just did that. And pulled one of my tracks apart, but I did choose something a little bit mean to it. So let's see. We'll do something else. I love live streaming. It's always such fun when everything goes wrong. There we go. Well, you could hear it still, right? It's done a poor job on the bass this time, really, because it's super hollow. And to be honest, it's done a good job there. You can hear elements of the vocal, but considering it's like a choir pad, that's a difficult thing to discern even for people. Strings not so good, but again, considering it's done a way better job with the vocals, great job with the drums. If you want to do like a real instrument version and just have the vocal and drums, that right there. Yeah, it's done a solid job there. Again, considering something to make it work hard, pulling this apart. Whoa. Impressive tool. Right. Oh, I haven't got my limiter on now because we crashed, didn't we? Happy days. So, wow, what else was there to check out? I got overexcited with checking out all of the instruments. I downloaded some of the new sound packs, but I honestly don't know. Oh, I can filter them out. What was the... It was Hardwell, I think, the one that I added. That's just a mega sample library, Jesus. With your standard... Alright. Is there something else anyone else wanted to check out, by the way? Because I've forgotten at this point after getting way too overexcited. Don't even listen to it, just bring it in. I like that. So I just brought that in and it's put that it's A minor in that section at the top. That is a nice touch, I have to admit. Yeah, the chords input is a little fiddly. I was like, why can't I just like click and add something or put a chord progression in? But you have to have it and then you can make it a chord progression, which the thing I like the most about it is putting that chord progression in, taking like an audio sample here, having like the source follow it as well. In relevant cases anyway, you're able to do that, which is pretty sick. Yeah, it's nice structure to have in there. It's laid out sensibly. There's other tools that have done it better, but it's nice to have it in there for sure. Adding sounds without even previewing them. Alright, so we can make a track like Hardwell now. Apparently. Alright, let's use the electronic drummer. Songwriter. Big Room EDM, that seems to be about right. You say about an AI guitar, listening to what they've done with those bassists, it's got to be a thing in the works, right? They've got to have like an acoustic guitar with all the like finger picking and all the slides. It's got to be in the works because they've done it with like, there's what, 5 or 6 different bassists with 2 or 3 different variants. So like 15 libraries of all that. It has to be in. It's like something that they just maybe couldn't finish in time or didn't have budget for, or they're holding back because Apple do like to do that to like drop at a later state, you know, get everyone's interest re-involved again. Gotta be. And I'd like to see as well, I know it works with the strings, I proved it earlier, but I'd like to see what the chord structure thing they've done specifically for the strings and brass. I think that would be ridiculous. Although at which point, like, you've stopped making the music yourself. I mean, I've just thrown some loops in with an EDM drummer in like 2 seconds. All right, so I'm not going to go through the however many sounds Hardwell added there, but there were like 3 or 4 different packs added. And because I've got so many installed, I don't remember what ones they were apart from Hardwell. Let's have a quick look. If we go on here, we do have the what else is new. So we looked at the session players, we looked at the studio bass, we've looked at the global chord track right at the start. Control transposition with pitch and source parameter. That is what I was looking at with the samples. I couldn't find. It's called Chroma Glow, not just Glow. It showed up as Glow before. For some reason I couldn't add it, could I? So if we go plugin manager, Glow, but for some reason on here it hasn't actually got a place that it lives. So we will house it ourselves in distortion. Done. Now I can go distortion and chroma glows there. Squeeze and saturate my EDM drums. My heart's content. Did that autocorrect to Chile? That's amazing. Been watching too much Bluey. Root MIDI internally using internal MIDI in. Cool. I've got nothing hooked up, so we're not going to be playing with that. Dolby Atmos, I just don't do it. It's not my thing. Although if people are interested, I could maybe get Kurt to see if he'd do a video. New producer packs. Okay, yeah, I just wanted you to tell me what the packs were. Oh, okay. Corey Wong. I didn't bother adding that, I don't think, but we can maybe have a look. Oh yeah, Corey Wong. I genuinely don't know. Okay, that's a shaker. Cool. I don't know who Corey Wong is, I'm going to be honest. Okay, cowbell loop, shakers. She's a percussionist, I'm taking from this. Okay, we got a sick groove. I like it. That'll get sampled. That's nice. Okay, loads of really nice recorded drum breaks. New samples always good. Funk artist. Okay. It just so happened that I hit nothing but drums at first. Okay. That's nice. Guarantee you'll hear that in a beat from me soon. With that said, I've been playing with valves recently from Native Instruments, and that's very fun as well. Right, who else have we got? Corey Wong. Oh, it's only mentioning Corey Wong, even though the hardware one's also new. Okay, whatever. Other features. Music extended, resize marquee. Stop playing in my ears, that's distracting. So marquee's been trying forced legato key command, forced legato functions. Okay, that's really minor. Real-time bounce for external instruments. I will do a tutorial on that, and we'll hook something up from down there and do that, because that's really cool that you can put MIDI in and real-time bounce it. Input monitoring software, instrument tracks. Use input monitoring software, instrument tracks as well as audio tracks. Good, sort of about time. WAV now default recording format. Whoa, they've abandoned their own recording format of AIF. Huh. Okay, and that's it. We're not going to go through all the release notes because that will be way too tedious. But that we seem to have covered it all, which, to be fair, that took me, well, I think the stream got going like 15 minutes late, but that has taken the best part of 2 hours. Wow. I'm super happy with that update. That's awesome. And I've not even really dived into it all. I've got all these other packs and things to go through. Oh yeah, as well, I noticed that they advertised, although they haven't updated the website still yet, it still says 10.8. Loads of the new ones seem to have like loop kits to export as well, but I use it so seldom, I don't even remember how to like open a new loop kit. I think you have to do it from default, don't you? You have to open the actual project. So that'll be something else to explore in another video. Well, anything else anyone wants to share? If not, I'm going to go have some breakfast because it's now 11 AM, and after dropping the kids off at school and jumping straight on for this, I've not had breakfast yet. I've got green juice here. That's about it. Well, super fun stream, super fun update. As I keep discovering stuff, I might just pop live again. It's been fun, to be honest, the last couple I've been doing. I'm super stoked with the fact that we can take the bass player, make a sick melody of some description. Go 174. Oi. You can throw anything in there, like literally anything. Let's grab. Hang on. Wait. And the lions. I'm starting to go loopy. I just want to grab some of my presets from Thorn because I'm curious. I warn you now, my Thorn presets are horrendously aggressive, so chill. Can we get this to like perform as we want? Okay, a bit more complex than that, come on. Okay, so now if I add the chords in and I want it to be in F sharp, minor, C minor, why would you do that? F sharp, minor scale, add that in, bring it back to the start, give it a chord progression. Does it change? It does, wow. Thank you. 287 BPM, that's too, no. Like I stop at 176-ish generally. Yeah, I'll have a good look through the that Corey Wong pack. I had no idea who it was, to be honest, but yeah, good sounds in there. I'm gonna just use and abuse this, I think, for like melody idea creation. When I can't be bothered to play on the keyboard or I'm stuck in a loop, I can just like tweak things and get ideas. The fact that you can just do this with anything is kind of outrageous. Right, I'm going to call it there. I'm going to go and finally get some very late breakfast. My dog's kicking off, so perfect timing. Guys, thank you for everyone who joined. It's been a pleasure. I do really appreciate it. And yeah, super excited. You got any questions, throw a comment on this video because I will look to make essentially a whole host of tutorials since it's been such a long time since we had a major update. And yeah, again, thank you very much for watching. Take care. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all again soon. Ta-ra.
All night.